talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the E.T. Stand Podcast.
G'day everyone, welcome to the Shark Fest, the ET Stand Podcast. We're here to debrief the second trial versus the Dogs. Everyone is welcome to participate either through the comments section or we'll pop up a link for those that can and want to call in and have a chat. Now, our perennial skipper seems to be missing. I would like to say, similar to Long John Silver and Captain Flint, Scar and Mufasa, Brutus and Caesar, Starscream and Megatron, that we've shafted him for a better alternative. But truth is, he's busy organising his collection of garden gnomes. Will we be all right without him? Probably.
We'll be better.
Yeah, let me introduce the boys. We've got the A team. We've got Williams the Brain and Lats the Larrikin. Welcome aboard, Lats.
Thanks,
Welcome
mate.
aboard, Williams.
Thanks, mate.
All right. CK may be joining us. We'll see what we can do there and get him in and active. But if not, again, will we be all right? Probably. Tonight's game, 12-6 over the Dogs. I felt our guys warmed up to the task nicely. What was your take on it, Williams?
Yeah, well, on behalf of Boldo, buy your grand final tickets now because we're on the board, baby. Oh, here he is. Look at him.
He's
Chris
turned
Kelly
up.
might be joining us in a second, but 2024 first win of the year, 0 competition points, but 12-6 the final score as we saw. It was a preseason match, but there was some stuff to like in there, which was good. We'll talk about injuries later. Young bloke got a try right at the end too, Chris Vielia. Pardon my pronunciation there. And welcome to the stage, Chris Kelly. I think I could throw to you if you want to give us a summary of the match.
No,
Okay.
keep going. Keep going away. Keep going away.
Keep going. Yeah, so look, it was a defence-oriented match. I don't think either side threw an enormous amount at each other, and I think it'd be good with Nico back. The Fox commentary was alluding to that we'd play a lot more direct and have a bit more structure there. Will Kennedy's first run of the year too, he was a bit out of position a few times with our sweep plays, so we didn't really threaten as much as we would have liked, but I think players like Trindle really warmed into it with some really good kicks, especially was it 2 Atkinson kicks that forced errors from Taff, and then Trindle essentially got 140-20. There was going to be a 40-20 that Taff had to play at, and another one that he almost got. It was just the bounce didn't help him. So that was good there. The forwards were great. Loved seeing some of Tommy Hazelton's runs. Kafusi was looking good again. So I think we're easing into it. I think everyone was better for the run, and I'll throw it back to you guys.
Yeah. Any standouts, CK?
Pretty down match, to be honest. In those sort of conditions, you kind of expect it. I thought issues. Yeah, here we go. I'll probably. Taylor Swift says up. Nice. Shout out to Tay tonight, performing in the rain as well. Must be a tough night. I think we played our normal kind of game, our normal kind of structured game, which is quite good to see. I've enjoyed that as well as last week. You can sort of see our structures are filtered down to the lower grades. On the other side of the ball, the Dogs look kind of the same. They're missing those middle forwards. They haven't really got a halves of direction when they want to go to that as attacking wings and attacking sides. They sort of go a bit sideways and get a bit lost. You saw Addo-Carr had a few opportunities and sort of just had to just die with the ball. Same as the other side. You saw Drew Hutchison cut through the middle on an Atkinson come on in, and really didn't have the legs to get to the end and tried to find someone, just threw the ball backwards, and Toby was lucky to dive on it. I was happy to have the win. I thought we're the better team, but we'll get into the downtown penalty, I'm sure, at some stage tonight, and really rip into that, because that was I think that's going to, like William said during the broadcast, it's going to change a lot of games, especially where the penalty's given. I didn't actually know it was going to affect in such a way where, you kick it on your 25, your 30 metre line that we saw, and the penalty goes all the way back to there. And to me, the ones that he called, even the ones against the Dogs that we took the advantage of, like the guy's passively, what we used to say, passively offside and not really involved. The one we had called against us, the ball went in the touch. Like Ramian kicked the ball in the touch. And I don't know what disadvantage we had to give away a penalty. So bizarre. I'm sure the teams will watch that kind of game and watch back and go, geez, this one's a bit tough, but I suppose we'll get used to it.
It's odd. There'll be a lot of coverage about it over the coming days, given what the NRL said they're going to clamp down on. They hit both teams here with it. And I think looking up while I was watching it, looked at the rules been in place since the 80s, but they've gone through different stages of enforcing it. There was the passive offside versus not get within 10 metres a while ago. I think that makes most sense. It's like, how much advantage are you getting? The kicker is standing deep, but not too deep, that if anyone's ahead of them, they're not getting that much of an advantage anyway, and you're kicking it downfield. The fullback's most likely going to take it and run about 10 metres anyway. It's not like rugby union where they're just playing literally aerial ping pong back and forward against each other and let them run, I think it's 5 metres and tackle them. So it's not that big a deal. I don't know what the game's gaining out of it, other than potentially a team losing because they're giving away a penalty 30 metres out right in front from the referee being pedantic and blowing it downtown.
There was an example. There was an example from Graham Annesley as to why they brought the rule in. And the example they had was a Parramatta versus Penrith game where when the kick was made, pretty much the whole team was in front of the play the ball. I guess what they're trying to do is, even though you still stand back the 10 metres, they'd have a set defensive line. So it's try and stop that, I guess. But I agree with CK. I think it's going to take a bit to getting used to, especially with how far back the call gets made. So.
Well, the one against the Dogs, like the guy was maybe half a step in front of the kicker. Like I was bewildered that they called that. Like I was like, if that was a try, you'd probably have a look at it. But he was literally half a step in front of the kicker. Like he was the dummy half and threw it backwards.
Was there? Like he could have stopped a step later, but the whistle was blown.
I don't know who's calling it too, because surely the referee, he's got eyes everywhere. He's not going to be able to tell. Stand 10 metres back. I know the touches are too. I know it's a call in the ear from the bunker going, downtown, blow it, done.
Yeah, well, like Franco said, like the penalty was blown. I think we even caught the ball by the time he blew the whistle.
Yeah,
like it was so bizarre. Like I understand, like you said, if it was an advantage when the teams come down and say, like he come down and smash Kennedy on the 10-metre line, I go, mate, you were offside,
or at least applying pressure.
But at least applying pressure. But there's not like the ball's not even in play by the time they call the penalty. Like I think that's going to be a real weird call they start making, unless it's one of those ones they do on the run during the season where they go, well, we've had an adjustment period where they'll blow the P out of the whistle and everyone hates it, like they did with theirs, playing the ball properly to hold them down too long. And then they go, all right, it's round 4 or 5, let's get rid of it. The high shots we saw in Magic Round where we saw 55 sin bins, and then 3 weeks later, that's just a fine, we'll sort it out during the week. Like it's
crackdown.
Yeah, the
high shots I understand. This one, I don't know. What are you achieving? No, you have a bit of a crackdown and then you put the whistle away and then everyone carries on how they were. What are you achieving? Nothing.
Yeah, because I was like I said before, I was shocked at where our advantage was. Like we're catching the ball down in our 25-30, then we're in an attacking zone, taking a tap on the 25-metre line.
Yeah.
If it's 12 all with 5 to go and you're taking the 2 to win the game like that, like it's
Yeah.
Was anyone asking for this rule? Was anyone saying that this is something that was needed? Do you think this came out of that coaches'
commentary? The commentators, Dan Gannay, did say the NRL. I hadn't heard it, but they said that the NRL had flagged that they were going to clamp down on this.
But
so he wasn't surprised.
Why did they say they were
I think it comes out of where teams, and all teams did it, but they tried to pick on Penrith doing their blockers for Cleary, where he was standing deep enough. So you had 3 or 4 forwards up in the line and Cleary's 20 metres back and kicking the ball. I think that's their way of trying to stamp out that kind of rule. So that way everyone has to be back behind the kicker, because then you won't have a defensive line running downfield. I think that's where it come from, a sneaky way of penalising those teams. It's, set 2 forwards in front and now they're 10 metres offside. They've got to stay there, but, they'll end up just having a rest soon. They'll just stand there like rugby union forwards and don't move, and all right, off you go back, so you can go chase the ball again, like back to the old days. Like,
All right, lads. How do we fare injury-wise? Everyone dreads the trial matches. How are we looking?
Mate. was a bit concerned on a couple of occasions looking at Sione wincing and, testing out a few joints. But to his credit, he came back out in the second half and he played pretty much the whole game. My nephew was at the game and he said when Brayley came off, because I actually didn't even notice Brayley coming off. It must have been a pretty quick sort of transition on the field. But he had his collarbone, had ice on his collarbone for pretty much the whole game. Whether that's, as we alluded to earlier, it was just precautionary or there's an issue there. Hopefully not, because I think the ball's got a lot sloppier with him not on the field, especially with Cam McInnes. I thought he was. I think he's suited better at lock.
He's an ex-hooker. He's a former hooker as well.
Yeah,
but that was at St. George, mate, so that doesn't count. Apparently, Kyle Flanagan's a halfback as well, but anyway, we won't go into that. Yeah, mate, and young Jesse Calhoun picked up looks to be a bit of a foot injury. Hopefully that's not too serious. And I was watching the post-game interview with Nico. I don't know if you boys saw with Brandy Braith and
Cooper Cronk.
Cooper Cronk, and he said I should be back for the Warriors game, but he didn't really sell it. It looks. I've got a feeling we are not playing round one with Nico Hines again this year.
Interesting.
Interesting too, because he was saying that the injury happened a couple of days ago, so late in the week. So he was planning on playing. It wasn't a tactical, unless they're playing Ducks and Drakes, but it didn't sound like it. Yeah,
he didn't sound confident. He seemed a bit defeated in his reply. So watch his space.
That was the injury that he had late last year too that ruled him out of the Knights game, and then also saw him not kick. So
right.
Yeah,
I was more concerned or jealous about his afro that was going in the breeze out there. Like I wasn't sure if it was Nico on the TV or not. I was like, who's this guy? I'm like, oh, it is Nico. Like,
windswept.
Yeah,
not Heath Ledger.
Yeah, not jealous at all.
You mentioned it, Lats. Our dummy half options. If Brayley's not there, we saw Jack Williams jump in and throw a shocker last week and again this week.
This week as well.
He
did get one. He got one good pass away though this week. He had two passes this week. One was a shocker. One was right in the chest.
Yeah.
There we go.
We saw Cam McInnes way out in front, and we saw Beryl have a couple of shockers as well.
Yeah.
Are we worried about the hooking role if we're without Brayley?
Hot and greasy conditions. Maybe.
Yeah, true.
We've got young
Rusty,
young Healy. Young Healy, I don't think could look out of place there. I think he could slot in nicely. But I think Beryl was pretty good. I think he had a few. I think it was a bit sloppy. We've just come back from the off season, and match fitness is poor. And I think it was a sloppy game, but I think he'll fit in nicely. I think. Calhoun, though, I don't know the extent of his injury. I saw he had the ankle taped, but you guys seem to think it's more of a foot injury. Fingers crossed that's not just the re-signing curse that's kicked in, and hopefully he'll be right for the early rounds.
Yeah, they said something about him. Yeah, that's who was the sideline commentator? Matt Russell said it looked like he was going to have to go for scans. So not sure what that's inferring, whether it's ligament or otherwise. Looking at Big Sharks fans' comment saying not looking good. I think it's hard to tell from trial form. I think everyone was better for the run. I think it would have been a bit of a different result if they were playing for competition points there, even though they were hitting hard. But my big takeaway, I think, is we can't do anything without Nico. So as he said, if he's not playing round one, we'll see how we go.
Yep. Do you think it was a second weight Bulldogs team? They seemed pretty strong for the first half.
Biggest Sharks fan.
I think I know who biggest Sharks fan is.
I think we all know.
I think we've just worked out who it is.
They've all got a B. He's too lazy to do anything else except for a B symbol for his name. So
the Annabelle principle. Yeah.
60% of the time, Baldo gives away his
username.
This is Jeffrey speak. I'll tell you what, though. I thought Trindle had a great kicking game. What about that 40-20? And he nearly got that other one too, where he put Fox down in the corner and we buried him. Like, what a strong kicker he is. It's
gamble responsibly. CK might be able to mention this one, but last season, first couple of rounds, he got a 40-20 each round. He's a special for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just got that good eyes up, doesn't he, that you can see it. pick the fullback out of position and bang.
Goal kicking was much better for him as well. Did you see his final kick? He took it back 30 metres.
Yeah.
Right, immediately howling breeze behind him, but right touchline and nailed it. So that was good to see as well.
Yeah, beautiful. I think that one surprised him too. He had a bit of a grin when he kicked that.
I think he turned to the crowd and gave it to
He even
us.
tried the little... we finally found someone who can kick a grubber, and he tried the little All-Stars grubber that we talked about last week, but there was no hammer there to chase the ball down. So we did get a repeat set out of it, but it was the same play, and I was like, oh, good. We can actually find someone. Me and Franco can actually just instead of just kicking it somewhere, just grubber it, just get a repeat set. So I was actually impressed. Like,
Cooper Cronk was right. A few of his early kicks were poor. Like there was a couple of bombs that didn't go anywhere, a couple of downtown kicks he didn't quite get onto. So he warmed into the game. And then there was, I think, after that repeat set grubber, he popped up a little, I don't know, like the old Brett Kamali kind of kick it at the post business, and it caught in goal. But outside of that was good.
By Hutchison, yeah.
It's probably the first time. It's probably just the first time that he's actually like the weight of the team on his shoulders, where he hasn't got another kicking partner in him, and that's something he's got to work on in case we go into round one a bit short. Like it could be something he's got to think about. But I don't think he's had that kind of pressure. He hasn't had a halves partner. He's sort of all the kicking was onto him. So. Oh, look out. Just getting shots fired left, right.
It'll be on all major streaming services soon.
Spotify, won't we, lads?
Oh, 100%, mate. It's got to work out how to do it, and we'll be sweet.
We're gonna get Kyle Sandilands on anyway. We're gonna go straight to the top.
You got a few avid listeners here to Spotify podcast. So yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Oh, big Sharks fan just spoiling who he actually is. So there you
go. Too good.
Everyone's talking about bit of a grind at the beginning. Commentators certainly mentioned on a few of the big hits. Kind of tend to agree. There was a few solid hit outs from Hunt. I thought he was looking good, continuing his form from the All-Stars match. So I think he's certainly set for round one. Yeah,
mate, I'll tell you what, he's looking fit, isn't he? He's leaned up, but he's just got those big shoulders, and he's just he was putting a lot of pressure on the try line. I thought he was going to cross for sure.
He had 5 guys on him.
Sportsbet account, but anyway.
Yeah. Just before the Barrels era, Hunt had 5 guys on him, and I thought he was still going to somehow just break out of it and score. And then he got a quick play the ball, and Barrel bomb.
Yeah, Fafita would have scored. Yeah. I'll tell you what I did enjoy. Seeing Bronson Cherry getting dominated all night. He did not get given a chance to do anything. He got pumped, and they let him know it too. It was good to see.
Let's just realise, he finished the game with a nice little offload to Cronulla to seal the win. So it was a good move by Bronson just to give it up. So
once a Shark, always a Shark.
That's a bit of charity for us. So.
Got a question for you guys. Speaking of once we're Sharks, Tracy left us to go sign with the Bulldogs. Where's he going to play? Is it a good move? What's his role going to be there?
I know we talked about this in our off-season, pre-season practice podcast, but the problem they got, and you saw tonight, like Blake Taff had an absolute shocker, in fullback. And,
second half.
Franco sent us a little link to watch someone else doing a YouTube live cross, and that's all the comments. The first thing, as soon as I opened it, was Taff. That's all I saw was all these comments going off on Taff. They spent, I don't even want to guess how much they spent on Crichton to come over from Penrith, Stephen Crichton, or Critter as everyone likes to call him, the new captain, to now play centre. And I thought it was to solve their fullback problems. But if you recall, when we talked about those sort of Connor Tracy's and where he was going, and I said, well, they signed 5 utilities. Like they got Kurt Mann, Blake Taff, Drew Hutchison, now Critter. Like I don't know where, and Carraz wasn't playing. Jamin Salmon, and then Carraz wasn't playing tonight as well. So that's another backline player that sort of steps in front of Connor Tracy, because they got big raps on Carraz. Like they love him playing out the wing. So I don't know where he fits in that team. They were talking about, they asked Cooper Cronk at the end of the game where they think he's going to play. And I don't think Connor Tracy's in those calculations. I think he's going to take a step back worse than what he was at us. Like, at least us, he's had a chance to be 17th, 18th man. He's now going to fall back into that rotation of reserve grade. So bizarre.
You wonder what they sold him, whether because I know that there was a talk this time last year that Gus was trying to sell Dykes fullback. And I wonder if they were saying the same thing. He's going, "Oh, you'll be our fullback because Critter will be in the centres or whatever." Even though Crichton is on fullback or 5'8" money, and they're going to put him in the centres. That's between him and Kickout taking up a half the cap. Like their problems. It's not a Bulldogs podcast. I couldn't care less about the Bulldogs, but it makes no sense.
It's part of Gus's 10-year plan.
They kind of sold Tap on the dream of being fullback, and then they sold Crichton on the dream of being fullback. You couldn't do it a third time, Tracy, surely.
But I wonder what they sold Kurt Mann and Jamin Salmon on. Like they don't have halves. They got utility guys out there. Like and again, like I said at the start, they're going sideways and sideways and sideways because there's got no direction out there. Like it was just they're literally running sideways all night. Like try and find Crichton Burton. And then maybe see what they can do and find the Fox for some space. Like it was just, And we all said it's gonna take Bronson Cherry a while. I'm kind of thinking he doesn't make the first team at the start of the season because he's still finding his feet. Like he's had 2 trial games, but
hasn't played before, in 4 years.
It hasn't played in 4 years. A lot of errors out there. He tried to tap on a ball that was going to go 5 minutes forward. He didn't tap it into us. I don't see. Like William said, we don't really care about what they trot out, but they got 16 options for 4 spots. It's just I don't know.
Big shout out to our friends at Fins up there, Dan Nichols with Eero's stats there: 6 runs, 73 meters, 36 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, 0 missed tackles. Good. Yeah. I don't think he'll be in the starting lineup, whether that's right or not. I think Talakai keeps it barring injury, but. Obviously, plenty of Eero fans out there. I know Dan and a lot of the Sharks community are. And it's good to see Eero perform, I think.
Yes. I enjoyed seeing him inject himself into this game a lot more than he did last week. He was sort of hunting around, looking for opportunities. And I was quite impressed with his touches. And, pretty happy with it.
Yeah. If I take it back to David Balderman talking about the third try, well, it didn't work last week. Or it did work, actually. I suppose if you talk about it, but in the three big, it didn't work in our favour. The 3 biggest matches that we've ever played, what was it in the 2016 final series? How many times did it actually work?
We've done this as a trivia question, so we know the answer.
Well, we do, but for the rest of our viewers here, we'll just throw Baldo, our esteemed leader, under the bus here. So he's got this theory about the third try always. The team that scores the third try will always win. Well. Yeah, okay, you're 12-0 up, you go 18 up. You're 12-0 down, you bring it back to 12-6. Or if you're 6 or you hit the front. But the game, okay, week 1 against the Raiders, we got the third try and won. But the other 2 weeks, the opposition got the third try and we still won. So he's got no idea what he's talking about, basically. Carry on.
The 2 most important games.
A foolproof system.
Play on. 33% of the time it works every time.
Yeah. The 2 most important games we've ever had in 2016, and it didn't work. So he must have been in panic stations more than I was with the last 5 minutes of the grand final that I didn't see.
Yeah. So no lunchboxes yet, guys. Baldo's providing a bit of coverage there, but what did we think of Peru second time round?
I thought he was better.
I still thought I thought he was a bit underwhelming, to be honest. I thought there was a few. He's not that fast, is he? Surely he should have streaked away. Any half would have streaked away and scored that try where he got run down. But no, I thought it was. Look, again, it's trial form, so it's sloppy football. They're mixing it like mixed teams, big guy like first graders, reserve graders. It's just sloppy stuff. We'll get more of an idea as he goes on through like the reserve competition. But yeah, what were your thoughts, Chris? Chris frozen. Lags back. Merch guy.
That was nice.
Tell us what you really think.
Put up the link of anyone that wants to jump on and have a chat as CK lagged out in a state of shock.
Oh,
boom!
He's just seen the basilisk.
Esteemed technology here on a Friday night, but
I love it. Very good.
I'll tell you what, though, gents, I was surprised to see Matt Burton stay on the field after his swinging arm, his fist copped the top of Atkinson's nose and split it open. I thought it was worse than Hazelden's knock last week, and I think he should have been given 10. I thought it was only fair.
The only thing that saved him was Atkinson was falling. It was fairly low, but you're right. It was a clenched arm. It was interesting there. Just Nathan Hunt commenting, Ronaldo was pretty average tonight. I think he didn't get much ball. I thought he was unlucky with it was a silly challenge. I think that penalty early on when we got it back from the dropout. And then so they claimed that he pushed, I think we might have Chris back now, that he pushed Sherry. But yeah, I thought Ronaldo, he had a good hit on late on against, who was that then Peru got the penalty against him for the face palm, which was nothing. If that was an error game, I think I'd still be blowing up. But anyway.
I was a little bit hesitant there. I was thinking, oh gosh, Ronaldo's at it again, but that was all good sport. That was fair game, I thought. Geez, don't get me started on Dan Ganane, honestly.
B-roll versus Beryl. He was putting a real European cultural flair on Maweni Hirote. Hirote. I'm not sure if that's...
I'll put a French flair on him, but we won't go into that.
I wonder if Matty Russell got into him about how badly he pronounces names, and he was really trying to stress them.
Probably.
He was not good. But yeah, Captain Obvious there, Dan Ganane. But I suppose it's probably his job, right, to call it as he sees it.
I've warmed to Dan. I used to not like him, but I've warmed to him.
You know what it probably is? He just always seems to get the Sharks games. And I'm just a little bit tired of it. Yeah. I wouldn't mind.
It always sounds like he's riding home the opposition. That's South's game in 2022 where we won in Golden Point is what's his face? Big Burgess got sent off and it's no good. It's no good. I'm like, no good for you because you're probably a South fan, you douchebag. But yeah, anyway.
He's also pretty happy to throw those softball comments to the other commentators and see how they go. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where, anyway, just a bit of variety. Well, looks like we've got our first caller for the night. We'll bring him in here and see how it goes.
Love song dedications.
Oh, that's right. Here we go. There he is.
Boys, how's it going?
How are you, mate?
Well, I'm doing good, thanks. Sorry there's no shirt on, but there was no time. My daughter's like, get on the show, Dad.
Sorry, our viewership will go up immensely.
Episode 4, we're cross-promoting. How good. We've got a crossover.
My head's too big for that hat. But anyways, there it is anyway.
Someone was asking about lunch boxes. It's all about the hats, it seems.
Mate, I love the sound of that. I've got to say, I jumped on quickly, so I missed the Beryl stuff. Wait, was there a pronunciation change, or was I going crazy?
I think it's just a Dan Ganane thing, to be honest.
I think it's pronounced Janani. I don't think it's Ganane at all.
I'm still trying to get used to Papali'i instead of Papali. It's been Papali for 15 years, and all of a sudden it's Papali'i. Like, did he not know his name? Like, it's weird.
How long does it take you to correct someone?
Yeah, Dan, you have to put Beryl on your show, or Be Real, and you can confirm.
Be real.
They won't talk to us, mate. Anyways.
What did you think?
We'll get done by affiliation.
Dan, didn't you get Sam Stone
Street? We got Sam Stone Street on. The interview goes live next Saturday. We're on from 3:00 for 6 hours. So if you're not sick of me already, you will be by then. But he had some good things to say. Without giving too much away, he's next in line in the wing, which is funny because Fox Sports were saying that he's definitely not. It's Michael Gabriel. So it's some person from Fox Sports who's lazy versus his actual words. I'm going to go with Sam Stone Street, next man up.
Absolutely. I think your writing was in the pudding, considering that Gabriel wasn't in week 1 trials, right? So you think if he was next man up, he would have been sitting there ready to go and having a hit out with the guys. But that's
I
cool.
think
So
he
when
played SG ball.
yeah, correct. Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing really well. But no, I don't think he's next man up. So when's the show? When's the interview going up, Dan?
Next Saturday afternoon, 3:00 on Rugby League Outlaws. It's super duper Saturday. I put an extra U in so he wouldn't get sued. So that's pretty clever. we got Sam Stone Street's obviously the main event, but we got Ben Cross, Nath Ryan. Interviewed Matty Elliott the other night. It was one of the best interviews I've ever done. Junior Moores we recorded tonight, and I got Geordie Lino from the Jets lined up. So it should be fun. But like I said, 6 hours. I think I've overdone myself here.
Marathon
Rise to
beauty
the challenge.
The round one hasn't started next weekend, so plenty of time for it, I reckon.
That's it. I actually planned it in the week between the trials and round one, forgetting there was a round one in round one next week. So it wasn't my proudest. And I lined it up, sent Terry an email. We cross-checked it, sent it to everyone. Everyone's on board. And then Terry goes, I'm in Bali. So we had to pre-record a little bit. So anyways. So I didn't
really. What did you think of tonight's game, Dan? Third time, lucky.
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight. Did you watch it?
We won and we conceded 6 points. Trying to keep positive. I'll keep the negative stuff for us on Tuesday. It was okay. It was all right. You take Nico out, obviously it's going to take time. But I thought Hero was good. I thought Royce Hunt was tremendous. I thought Hazelton and Nickera were good. Everyone else, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Do you think Nico plays round one?
Yes. I said from the start that he's not going to play the second trial. And then when he was ruled out, we're like, oh, is he ruled out? And then they're like, no, he's hurt. I was like, rats. So, I think he'd be fine. Did you guys see the post-match?
Yeah.
We
he didn't sell it to me too well. He looked a little defeated. I was a bit concerned there when he said, I should be right for round one.
Didn't he said that last year, though, and he missed the first three. So I don't know. I'm going to say yes, but it's more like yes.
I was just jealous.
I think Trindle will be better for the hit out
anyway. So
you're just jealous.
The beards.
How good are their hairstyles at the moment? Speaking of which,
so we just keep going the beards. It's all the beards. It's all it is.
Yeah, I'm waiting to do a comb over.
Hence the hats.
I'll be with you very soon, Chris. Don't worry, mate.
It's easy, mate. It's nice and breezy. Skull Shaver. Go out and get yourself one. That's our next sponsor. Skull Shaver.
No, I love it. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to jump in and take over.
I appreciate it, mate.
Thanks for joining. Enjoy the night. Enjoy your weekend, champ.
Loving the show. It's better without Boldo too. So
100%. Yeah,
easy.
100%.
See you, mate.
Legend. See you, mate.
Oh, back to the full screen. That was great.
Where do I look?
There we go. It's easy as that, if you're watching, jump on in.
Come on, Shamson, as you're next, mate. Come jump on in.
Don't even put that comment
Don't
up.
be shy.
He can do it, can't he?
Don't know. Probably could if he wants to, but we'll ignore Boldo. But yeah, no, I think if Nico doesn't get to play, who is it? Is it going to be Atkins?
I think so.
No.
I don't think it's Perot.
No. Who's it going to be?
I thought Atkinson, and I got big raps on that kid. I think he's the next Connor Tracy instead of being a permanent player in a position. I thought somehow he let the old man Hutchinson get through a gap because he jammed in for no reason. That was the only reason Hutchinson made that line break. And I was like, oh, it was Dan that went straight through and sort of jammed up for no reason. Like Hutchinson, you saw once he made a break, he can't run more than 10 or 15 metres. He was looking for support and a bit of oxygen. I think it is going to be Peru, and you probably put Trindle in 7.
Yeah, fair enough. Peru, the running half, and Trindle, the game manager.
Game manager, yeah.
Would you? I think there was a bit of chatter around the off season, and he played there in 2022 in New South Wales Dykes as a playmaker.
It's a big ask going round one over the Warriors, isn't it? Like it's to anyone. It's sort of that poison chalice of the old Albert Kelly and Ricky Stewart when he handed them the jersey and said, well, someone's got to play fullback. But it's a big ask to go to Mount Smart Stadium round one of the start of a season and you're replacing a bloke like Nico Hines. Again, that's what I'd like to see. And I talked about it last week. Like there might be an SOS throughout the season because I just don't see if we're going to nurse these kind of guys through all these rounds. And if something happens, God forbid, and touch wood again, I don't know if we've got a 6 or a 7 in that depth sort of range. I thought that's where Connor might hang around, but now that he's gone, I don't know.
Do we bring one in?
You could probably push, as much as we hate it and started in the first set as a shocker, McInnes to the 6, just as a running lock, and then slot someone else around just to have another. He's got a ball playing skill to him, and he's better at lock than he is at 9. So I could see him doing that. But other than that, and then it's down to Trindle's kicking game only, isn't it? Unless you get Brayley doing his little sneaky ones out of dummy halves, about it. Because we know Ramian can't kick after tonight, so.
Or Nickera.
And I love you, Noodles. It's not a shot at you. It's just it's a kicking license thing. You got someone threw the ball in the 5th. It's not your fault. Everyone should know before it even goes wide on your own 40-metre line. And then he caught it, and I heard actually someone yell out "glass," and he was like, "Oh crap!" and just kicked it. Like he got scared. Like it was just. He was ready to make a move, and all of a sudden,
gave a bit of a filthy look to who passed it to him as well, didn't he?
And then we got a downtown penalty anyway. It's just ridiculous. So I'm not putting that on Noodles at all.
No. I'll tell you what, there was some big hits tonight, wasn't there? The Talakai one on Jacob Preston, that was a cracker.
Yes,
was it Ronaldo's one at the end there? That was a doozy. I thought that was a ridiculous penalty for that head push, but.
Hazelton had a big hit.
Yeah.
It wasn't even Ronaldo. Ronaldo did the big hit, and usually he carries on. And Ronaldo just laughed and gave a bit of lip, and then it was the
head massage was nothing, really. Like, surely.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I thought we were going to get a penalty to go the other way for coming in and shoving third.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I think Ronaldo, I don't even think Ronaldo was going in to give him shit. I think he was going in to help him up. And like,
he was. That's all he did. Yeah, which is actually.
But with his track record, and especially against the Dogs, because that's what he had that. He got right into the Dogs last year, didn't he?
Yeah. I talk about I don't know if we touched on the silly Nickera sin bin. I don't know why he held on against a team like that. There was no need. He literally held on for another 2 or 3 minutes. Great tackle. He could have just got up, and I don't think they still would have scored. There? No, they didn't afterwards for about 5 minutes. It took them 3 sets to get over. And that was the only try they got. Was a man down.
Enough, late on, I saw Jack Williams-Reef. I don't know who it was. One of our young players in the 20 was holding down, and Jack Williams grabbed the back of his shirt and pulled him up.
threw him onto the try line.
No penalties.
I mean, it was a blessing in disguise, though, right? We wanted to test our defence. We know that probably wasn't our strong point last season. Defending a man down for 10 minutes probably is a good hit out there for a trial where, as we all know, the results don't matter. So let's see how we go a man down defending.
I actually thought, who we haven't mentioned, Teague Wilton, I thought he was brilliant in that first half in defence, just covering over there with Talakai. And he was in everything. He was brilliant.
He's a big get back because he hasn't played since the Melbourne massacre last year. What was the injury? Was it
torn meniscus?
Meniscus. Okay. So he missed over half the season last year. So he's a good big return.
There was even one on our own try line in the second half that he put a massive shot on too. Like absolutely smashed the bloke and just put him down and clean him up. I was like, whoa, we're really on now. Like we're starting to warm up. So
Rudolph's turf toe didn't seem to matter.
No, he got through pretty well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was blowing a bit, but I think it was hot conditions. I think after the first few carries, which that's the thing I suppose that I think he's able to get through the matches fine. Having heard him interviewed, it's the fact that he can't train during the week or he can't do much loading, and that's what that affects his overall minutes.
Yeah, he's a bit of treadmill work before he goes out there or K's under the legs. Even when he dived on that loose ball that Atkinson recovered off Hutchison, he was the first guy to dive on it, and then even just then he was hands on hips, and I'm like, whoa, we've only just got into this game, mate. Like, and that's not like him. He's an engine. So
he played 60 minutes against the Roosters last night. He was at least 60 minutes in the semi-final. We lost Hazelton. It ruined the bench rotation. So he's obviously capable of it, and he's really stepped up over the last year or two. I'm just hoping that it doesn't continue to cause the issue but it looks like it will, because we're close to 12 months since it happened. It was early in the season last year against the Warriors when he did the injury and was out for 12 weeks or something huge after that. So
it's a rare injury in rugby league too. You don't hear too, like in the NFL, it's a massive injury, but you don't hear too many in the NRL. So bizarre. He might go down the Angus Crichton path and just cut it off is the next thing. Like just
which toe is it that's causing the trouble?
It's actually his big toe.
The big fellow. He's running sideways, mate.
Balance.
Yeah, he'll just fall over. But yeah,
which foot is it?
He's running around in circles.
He suddenly gets an automatic left foot step every time he runs. Every time.
He'll just play me out wide. Just keep running on an angle.
Yeah.
What do we think about Kaufusi? He's now had a season with us. Started off pretty strong.
I thought he was solid. He's playing for a contract too next year. He's playing for his future. I think he's going to have a huge year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to set the platform. Hopefully he can stay injury free. I don't know if Ueli, touch wood, hopefully he stays injury free all season. But I think good sign of things to come with Royce Hunt looking so fit and running so hard, and Kaufusi stepping up and having a crack. I think they can lead the pack.
Well, he's got the long hair now, right? So that's instantly a better footballer. So
it's like a proper helmet head, isn't it? Stack hat. Looks like he's wearing a stack hat.
He tried the same play as last week. He tried the little sneaky offload, the barrel, and it just didn't come off. It was quite there.
No.
He's still at least he's looking for it. Last year he was more of a hit, and it might see a offload.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like pedestrian carry out. This time he's running with purpose, and also too he's like
really looking for that second phase, isn't he?
Yeah. And that's what he's doing a lot with Parramatta. It was both he was providing the second phase, and he also scored a try in one of the semi-finals, I think, where he backed up through or was it even the grand final? I can't remember. Where he backed up through the middle and scored himself. So I think he's showing the benefit of having a full off season this year, which he didn't get last year. Hopefully he goes on with it.
And it's not one of those sort of Adam Cutlerson sort of like you have to throw it. He's kind of like waiting for the opportunity to arise. His arms are free. Like see if I can turn around and offload it out the back. But yeah, it's not one of those forced offloads you see a lot of props do and try and sort of, underneath and the arm, and the arm gets chopped or the over the top Statue of Liberty and the ball's just getting pushed backwards. So, I wanted to bring that up because I was like, wow, he's done it again and it nearly come off again for a try. Like Beryl was so close to diving over, but credit to the Dogs for holding out. But yeah, it's good to see he's got a little offload in there.
Yeah, shame. Well, there was a few things tonight that were shames, but our challenge record is still horrific.
Can you find us a stat for that, Williams? That's your job during the week.
It's got to be the worst
stat for the challenge
in the competition. I think our record is giving up a challenge in the first minute a few years ago. One of the games in 2021, and it was I love Wade Graham, but I think it was him as captain going get a challenge for a lost ball and gone like 30 seconds of the match. Like
there was a lot.
That was with Klein as the ref too, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Took it to us the rest of that game.
There was a lot of Aaron Woods challenges in there though over the years, so they sort of declined our stats. And like you shouldn't believe you listen to Franco's favorite Dan Ganane or even like most of the commentators, like you don't trust a prop, like you don't ask a prop. Yeah, it was, and even young Wilson for the Dogs challenge, and I thought, what's he doing, man? Like there's no like you've got to defeat like it's an actual strip. It's not a poke out anymore. Like you've actually got to look. And I thought it was his own arm that knocked it out on first side of the replay. I was like, what has this guy done? Like
in the context of the match and the position on the field. Why? Like it's like it just.
I think that's what your challenge should come down to. Your challenge should come down to not a lost ball. You're under the pump. It should be like this is going to change the game.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be. Like you're on the attacking line. You're confident. You're 20 meters out. The game's in the balance, and that's when you're throwing a challenge up. But like you said, not in the first 1 to 5 minutes just for a lost ball. Like you got 75 minutes to go to change that fortune around. Like
what's a bit. Even looking tactically at and Boldo should love this because we're looking at the business of rugby or the business of rugby league with a business lens kind of thing. But so you go a short drop out. Ronaldo gets it back but doesn't, so it's a penalty. So you're giving up. It's a 50-50 call anyway. If you're doing a short drop out, it's probably going to be them anyway. What's the point in challenging? Because you're getting the same outcome that I was. The only possible outcome is a loss. Like unless you're under the pump. You're only going to lose the challenge and not going to be able to use it at a moment that matters later in the match.
And like you said, we're going to have even if it was overturned, we had the ball on our own 10. Like we're going to make 30 meters and kick from halfway.
Yeah,
like it's
exactly.
That's insane.
Where if Sherry or Adokar caught that ball, we would have been defending from 10 out anyway, and it was a penalty way out on the right. They weren't going to take the 2. There's no benefit to challenge. There's got to be more thought into this, and I know it's a quick turnover and what McInnes is captain at the moment. But hopefully Fitzgibbon's smart. They've got some smart coaching staff down there. They've got to actually look at it and go, no, like let's tactically look at it and go, no, we're not challenging under these conditions. We'll only challenge under this condition or whatever. Like it's have some thought around it.
Come on, Annalise. You know the show's running way better without him. Way better without him. We didn't need him to open it. It wasn't a dribble over the top at the start. This show's running just fine. Another UK viewer. How good's that? Another overseas viewer. Shout out.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
Or international debrief.
International deal. Gosh, Franco, I said let's only go about 20 minutes and we're at 45 already after I was.
Oh, I know, right? I was just thinking about do we start to wrap this up and then you guys hit on a banger, right? Like
this is kind of Williams. I know when you log off, like me, Franco, and Lats usually go another hour and a half straight afterwards. So
yeah, true. The post shows where it's at.
The post show is where it usually goes longer.
The full-on Frank swearing
post show. This is the first time we've gone up in viewership as the show's gone on. So what did I tell you?
We'll have to release the Scorsese director's cut of the post.
Come on, Dan. You've been a Sharks fan long enough to know that we are that bad. Like it's
Cronulla.
We Cronulla challenges.
They could give us 5 challenges and we'd still burn them all incorrectly.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Anyone north of number 9 should not have a say in a challenge. We've got that set.
Thanks, Blake Williams. Big shout out from behind me there.
Yeah. Love you, Blake. I don't know why he's not jumping on as a guest soon.
Yeah, you could call him.
Call him, Blake. Jump on in. Give us your thoughts on reserve graders that we're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, any final thoughts then, lads, for tonight's game? Impressions?
No, I just want a little shout out who I hadn't mentioned. Tapua. I thought he was excellent. He's huge. How good is he?
Yeah,
I thought he was running hard and he wanted to be in everything. He's looking to cement a spot too. So, and with Fanua Blake coming next year, Hamlin Ueli committing, I think the future's very bright.
I think Roosters ex-player, right? So got to be CK's favourite player.
Yes.
I was gonna say, and I said at the start of the broadcast, and they mentioned during the game, the Dogs are still missing that engine room and pretty much a half, and that's where we're not lacking. We're not lacking in an engine room. Like we're spoiled for choice at the moment, and it makes a massive difference. Like I trust our edges. I trust our edges in defence, and then we've got the engine room. So, Fitzy, I know you're listening. I need JWH to come back in.
Here he is.
Call him back.
Oh, hold on.
You watch, we're going to lose our viewers.
Yeah, we've already dropped one.
I can't work under these conditions.
Congratulations.
It was him coming on the stage.
Thanks, Bono. I can't work under these conditions. I'm out.
We just lost biggest Sharks fan when Boldo jumped in.
No, biggest Sharks fan. I think is still kicking, isn't he?
We lost 5 YouTube users.
No, I think it's on more. Just congratulations on a great show, fellas. How entertaining and what a great kind of check-in. I can't believe you're not subscribed to the third try principle of the Sharks. Just conceding the third try twice in 2024 proves that it works every time.
Most
every
of the time.
Some of the time.
I'm just impressed that Franco found our competition tonight of having 27,000 subscribers. And what was it? How many viewers was it live? It was like 85 live viewers, 70 odd live viewers. So that's our goal now. That's our target line.
Well, we
Shout
did
out
have
to that
15,
guy.
so we were 20% of that.
Sorry, that guy. I'll give you a plug if I remembered. Maybe
I quite enjoyed you getting the start wrong. And yeah, see you later, Dan. You were the second best host.
Thanks, Dan. That's it. It's on now.
No, we like Dan. Doesn't he look like John Cena?
Oh, no, I couldn't see him.
Yeah, fair enough. Well done on the show, fellas. I was just jumping on at the end. I obviously wasn't able to catch the match, so you've done a great, stellar job. So I just wanted to say congratulations.
I think as you can tell, Boldo, you didn't really miss much in the match anyway. So,
well, it just seemed like a lackluster Sharks match, really, didn't it? And just nothing.
It was a trial. It was a trial.
Yeah.
It was a trial.
Did well.
That's all we can say.
But
I still wanted to win.
This concept proves, this show proves that this will be the place to be post-loss, especially if we get massacred in Melbourne or something like that again. It's going to be
electric,
challenging to rein everyone in, I think. Yeah,
you heard it here first, viewers. Get here after a loss.
Or join us on the Northies dance floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the King Wan. for entrees per person.
One to be back. Come on, there's plans for
one
the
entree
right?
per person.
Surely.
We've got
We
Tony
could
on
have-
line 3.
We could have used the money from this preseason challenge to hunt Tony down and get him back, and we should have. We should have taken it more seriously.
Brilliant. Very good, lads. All right. Anything you'd like to final comments, wrap up on the game tonight?
What's coming up on the show Tuesday, Franco? What's going on the ET stand? What are you talking about?
Just let the lads talk about the game. Final comments. We'll get to that. Calm down.
Fair enough. Well, great hosting, Franco. You're just
Actually,
so good at this.
On the
Vegas
game, something I have noticed the last couple of matches, Tommy Hazelden's passing game. Maybe he can slot in at number 7. It's been a couple of little slick little
That
backline
idea
passes
of
there.
whoever's going to play, whoever suggested McInnes should play 5'8", that is the worst, dumbest idea ever. McInnes shouldn't even be in the top 17.
Throw us your half
I don't know
partner.
about
Throw us your
that.
half
Don't-
partner before we go. Go on, Boldo.
Hang on.
Let's go back to
just let me-
the Boldo
just let
comment
me
from
I've muted Boldo.
10:45. McInnes at lock. That's where he started. You're saying 5'8" now, changing it.
Yeah, well, look, I was just so annoyed that oh, God, you bloody muted me, you bastards, because I'm not the damn
I turn
controller
it back
of the
on,
thing.
mate. I turn it back
It's
on.
on. It's on. And there goes our first beat.
Time to get rid of the ex-host. See you, mate.
Move him
Thanks
from
for
the
jumping on.
stage.
Thanks for calling in.
Our viewership's gone from 15 to 9, so we've lost a third. But,
It was
Hey,
Oh,
while he's
dear.
locked
Well,
out, change the password to the stream.
Let's kill that here, guys. Let's kill that here. As a reminder, Sharks over the Dogs, 12-6. Thanks everyone that was able to join us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you missed us live. Feel free to leave a comment. We're watching. We're keeping updated. You can also find us on a few of the other big socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We'll be back on Tuesday night for more banter, go through the latest news and put forward our opinions of the season ahead, which kicks off in 2 weeks. I can't wait. See you later, lads. Thanks very much.
For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated. More often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.